up for sale and being met by police with guns drawn. It happened on Sunday in Michigan to a black realtor and his black client and the client's 15-year-old son, who's seen here on police body cam video being put into handcuffs. All three were cuffed. Now, they say if they were white, it wouldn't have happened. Police say a white neighbor called 911 reporting a break-in after seeing the three men at the vacant home. This is dash cam video. It shows one of them leaving the house with his hands up. It turns out a different man was arrested at the home a week earlier for unlawful entry. The Wyoming, Michigan police saying tonight in a statement, after a thorough internal review of the actions of each of our public safety officers who responded to this incident, we have concluded race played no role in our officers' treatment of the individuals who were briefly detained, and our officers responded appropriately. While it is unfortunate that innocent individuals were placed in handcuffs, our officers responded reasonably and according to department policy based on the information available to them at the time. Well, let's talk about this. Joining me now with their perspective, the prospective home buyer, Roy Thorne, his son Samuel, Eric Brown, the realtor showing the home. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you joining. I'm sorry this happened to you. Let's discuss. Eric, you heard what the police said. What did this feel like for you? Did it feel like profiling, racial profiling?
It did. Honestly, it did. In that moment, it certainly felt that way. It's difficult to justify that type of what I felt a tactical type response. There was a strategy there, and they were surrounding the home without our knowledge, and we weren't made aware of their presence. So yeah, for sure, it felt. I don't feel like a home that had been on the market for this length of time. Mm-hmm. With the number of showings, given the climate and activity in our market, that no one else had the that type of or level of force or response respond.
Yeah. Look, Roy, I'm glad you're here and you're healthy now, but you had to be worried that it wouldn't be the case while this was all happening.
Yeah. I was worried. I was very worried initially when it all started. Not knowing that the officers were out there until I saw two officers outside the window on the side of the home after Sammy told me that there were cops outside, because he was downstairs and he came upstairs where Eric and I were. And once I saw the two officers with their guns drawn, and I saw them doing hand signals, signaling each other to surround the house, and I noticed that, and one officer was heading to the back, and that's when I really got paranoid, because I knew once they surrounded the home, they were just preparing for a standoff. And so my instincts told me, we need to get out of here. We need to get to where they can see that we're not a threat. And but I can't say that my adrenaline wasn't pumping. I was worried, but I was just more concerned about getting my son out of that situation and getting us all out of there. So yeah, I was scared.
I'm just wondering, what were the handcuffs? All you guys walked out, you complied. I'm just wondering, was there a need for handcuffs? But anyway, Samuel, I'm so sorry this happened to you. People, just so people know, you're only 15 years old, and I imagine that this was extremely frightening for you. What were your feelings after seeing all of this, after all of this happening to you?
Well, in the beginning, when we were upstairs, is when most of the, I would say, like, shock and initial fear kind of happened. Because it went from, Dad, there's cops outside, to come outside with your hands up. So that was kind of like from just 0 to 100. So that's pretty much what I felt, was just like confusion and shock and fear for the most part, because I had no idea why they were all down there at that time.
Yeah, Roy, I understand you made sure that you put Samuel behind you, so just in case something happened, that it would happen to you instead of him. What do you want to say to the neighbor who called the police?
That's why the response here.
Well, to that particular neighbor and any potential neighbor, my message would be, we're just like you. We occupy the same space. We do the same things. We go to the same places. And, if you see a crime, report a crime. But if you see people, Black people, any minority, don't report people doing normal things.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, you don't realize that you can change their life or have their life taken. Just you making a phone call. And in this instance, it could have been 3.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been 2 or 1. Somebody hurt. But that's my message. Report a crime. Don't report everyday activity. Could have changed my life, changed my son's life.
Yeah.
Yes.
You may not have been sitting here. Eric, the Wyoming police say that they have reached out to you and they want to meet with all 3 of you to discuss what happened. Has that been set up yet? Are you open to it?
It hasn't been set up yet, and I am definitely open to it. And I have had that conversation with Chief Koster. We haven't arranged it and set it up yet, and we need to arrange that with some counsel present, our counsel present. And when Sammy is ready to enter that environment, because I think it's critical that he's there as well. Clearly, we want some reform and some change here. Mm-hmm. There are things that have gone wrong. I'm sure you guys have seen or listened to the recordings, the 911 call, the dispatch, and the lapse in communication, or what was lost in translation before those officers arrived there. See, those are the types of things that need to change.